The eternal question of which Ratchet and Clank game is the best will forever remain a mystery. Some people think it's Tools of Destruction. Some people think it's All for One. Some people think it's the second game. Some people think it's the third. I have no idea what everyone thinks, the best Ratchet and Clank game is. But if I were to take a guess, in my opinion, it would have to be the second Ratchet and Clank game. In my opinion, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. This was the second Ratchet and Clank game in the entire series on the main consoles, and I gotta admit, this was, and still is, my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. And I have many reasons for this opinion. My name is Matthew Downey, and today we're going to take a break from the Crash Bandicoot Marathon, and we're going to review Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando. Now, let's begin, folks. Let's begin. First of all, let's get into the story of the game. The story of Ratchet and Clank 2 is that it takes place about a couple months after the events of the first Ratchet and Clank game. Ratchet and Clank are now relaxing on Veldin when all of a sudden they are teleported from their living room into the Bogon Galaxy. And in the Bogon Galaxy, a weapon company known as Megacorp hires Ratchet and Clank. The owner, Dr. Abercrombie Fizzwidget, says that there is a major problem. Apparently, some thief broke into the Megacorp weapon testing facility and stole something codenamed the Experiment. Apparently, the experiment is not ready, and since it's been stolen, they need to get it back before whoever stole it may end up wreaking havoc across the galaxy. Ratchet and Clank, now equipped with their brand new Megacorp gear, must now try to get the experiment back. This is a different story from the original Ratchet and Clank, and I like it, because when you have a new story, you have new grounds to work with, and I really like this story. There are a couple plot holes which could lead you to believe that, well, everything isn't as it seems, but it's still a fun plot to listen to nonetheless. And this game is very funny, so I would have to say the story is possibly one of the strongest in the series, and the comedy is, well, on par in my opinion. Anyways, first of all, let's take a look at gameplay and notable differences from the original game. Ratchet's voice actor has changed. Instead of being, I'm pretty sure his name was Mickey something, they've now changed it to James Arnold Taylor. I can say that's a very good decision, because I really did not like Ratchet's original voice in the first game. Whenever Ratchet got mad or scared, he sounded really angry and felt like a jerk in my opinion. It just made him plain unlikable at times. But with James Arnold Taylor, even in the parts where Ratchet becomes kind of a nuisance, I can still kind of like him. And this game's graphics push the boundaries. The game looks a lot better than the original. Ratchet now wears a special Commando armor, which makes him look less silly, and Clank just feels like he looks a lot better. I really like where they went with this game. Instead of traveling through destroyed cities and beaches, you now explore more futuristic type worlds. And these worlds will only get more run down as the game goes on. But in the original Ratchet and Clank, the places start becoming more run down. For example, when Ratchet went after Chairman Drek, he went after the planets he had attacked most recently, meaning the ones that had been destroyed the most. And all the places seemed run down, but you'll be traveling from casinos to run-down swamps, and these areas feel full of life, and literally, you will remember each of these planets. And with the brand new challenge mode with the multiplier, this means everything feels a lot better. Not to mention, getting bolts in this game is so much easier. They have added a system in the game where based on how many crates you break at a time, you'll get a combo. So let's say you break 5 crates, you get a 5 multiplier combo. The more crates you break in one go basically means way more bolts. And, well, in the original game you may have about 100,000 bolts by the time the game's over. But you may have but you may end up getting 1,000,000 bolts in your first, walkthrough of the game. And in challenge mode, you can keep playing the story for as long as you like, and keep getting more and more bolts. Not only have the wacky weapons returned, they have a freaking leveling up system, which I have to agree is pretty damn cool. Having a leveling up system, meaning the weapons actually feel like they have more weight to them, feels absolutely amazing. Knowing that your work into using these weapons more than others actually makes sense now. It feels so good. Not to mention the game added an armor system, in which, by using a specific amount of bolts and going to a yellow vending machine, you could buy armor. The armor would reduce the amount of damage you would take, and the health is less stupid. Back in the original Ratchet and Clank, you would have to buy 1 bar of health separately, meaning that you could end up spending up to 100,000, bolts just to get about maybe 2 more pieces of health. But here, you earn it over time, kind of like the way you level up your weapons. I like this. It feels more normal, to say it at the least. It feels more calm and organized than in the original game, in which it was rush in, kill all the enemies, go back, get more ammo, and just rush the enemy. It feels more good, and I just feel like it felt more normal in this game. If there is one thing this game does right, it's the controls. Back in the original Ratchet and Clank, the controls felt clunky and slow, yet here you feel fast and responding. You feel like Ratchet going where you want to go. In the original game, he would slip and slide all over the place, which, if you saw my original playthrough, I actually didn't upload a playthrough. I recorded it on my tablet, and I wanted to put it up, but I couldn't because my internet was down. When me and my brother did our first playthrough of of the original game, we died so many times because of how slippy and slidey Ratchet was, just going all over the place. Yet here, it just feels more natural. Ratchet just moves around naturally, and in the sections where you're playing as Clank, they've been fixed too. Clank feels less clunky, and the bots you collect here feel like you need them. They feel like they have a purpose that they have to serve. And here, you're the person that needs to make sure those purposes are served. Speaking of, Ratchet's wrench feels like it swings a lot faster. In the original game, it also felt slow. Here, it feels like it swings really quick, and swinging through a row of crates feels absolutely amazing. And it never, and I mean never, felt better. Never in any other Ratchet game have I literally got so much fun out of breaking a couple crates. It is just awesome. Breaking crates and getting bolts feels so much more satisfying than in the original game where it was a bore fest. Here, you want to smash every crate. You want to find them all. You want to buy the weapons. Also, the new weapons in this game are amazing. The Rhino's been majorly upgraded. Okay, imagine a minigun and a rocket launcher had a baby. This is what you get. It's a fully automatic missile launcher that shoots blue radioactive bolts. This thing can only be obtained in your second run of the game. You can get it in your first run, but I highly doubt that, if you'll hardly even get 500,000 bolts in your first run of the game. I only got 200,000 in my first run. I actually got 2 million in my second run. I gotta admit, this game, just felt a lot better in my opinion. And the weapons are so memorable, not to mention it gave us the freaking bouncer. And just say it, the bouncer was one of the best weapons in gaming history, no doubt about it. And you can't lie about that fact. The bouncer was just, the bouncer. It felt amazing to use. Another gimmick this game added was the hoverbike racing. Imagine the slow, clunky, annoying hoverbike racing, but this time it felt like you were freaking on steroids. Okay, I didn't want to make a drug joke, but this was the best way I could describe the racing. It feels so fast. The controls are a little bit off, but oh my god, races are adrenaline rushing. And with every single cup and with every single race you can compete in on multiple planets, you want to race in these. Not to mention, in challenge mode, your rewards are tripled. Meaning, you really gotta aim for those rewards if you want to get the new weapons and armor sets. It looks and feels absolutely amazing. There are shortcuts on these courses which are so hard to find, yet so satisfying to use. Not to mention the fact this game is literally, this gimmick is perfect for people who liked F-Zero. And if you have not played F-Zero, holy crap. It is such a good game, and this mode is adrenaline rushing. Definitely a must when you play this game. Well, I can't really say much more about Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, but there is one problem I have with this game. And the problem isn't that big, it's a personal gripe I have with the game, and I can't get over how much this bothered me because it's just so noticeable. Ratchet and Clank 1's bosses were way too hard and killed you multiple times, yet in Ratchet and Clank 2, way too easy. These bosses are pathetically easy. You will beat them, no sweat. This plant thing, just avoid its tentacles, and whenever they go back into the ground to charge up another attack, shoot the big eye. That is literally all you need to do with this boss, and the other bosses the other bosses is dodge and attack. Wait for their attack to charge back up, then start shooting them when they try to attack you again. It is literally so simple. Look how quick this boss is dying with the freaking first weapon. It is just so simple to beat. Some of these bosses, they are so simple to beat. Literally, I could just go on and on and on and on about how easy these bosses are. But if I did, we'd be here for about a decade. But while the bosses aren't really that, good, are they memorable? Yeah, the swamp monster actually gave me a couple nightmares. This helicopter dude managed to actually do his job and kill me. The masked thief, who, spoiler alert, is actually a long box called Angela, it's quite, memorable. Even though most of these characters we never see again, we probably will see again if there is a Ratchet and Clank Going Commando reboot, which I hope to God there is. I just hope we get to see these characters again. Now, what is the final verdict for Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando? The pros are this. It has good graphics, it definitely has improved over the first game, it has memorable weapons, more unique locations, and a great armor system. And the gameplay is more fast and fluent. The only cons are the bosses. No, literally, that is the only thing I could think about that bugged me about this game. My name is Bag of Facts. This has been Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando, and I give this game a 9 out of 10.